folks, what's happening? Welcome back to Wales in the Movies, Croeso Nôl and all that. I'm Nick, and I've got a Welsh documentary review for you today. You know Gwyn Williams, and what Gwyn Williams said in the documentary The Dragon Has Two Tongues, which you will have heard of if you watch this channel. He was talking about Owain Glyndŵr, the failed Welsh rebel of the early 15th century. And what he talked about was that no matter that Glyndŵr's rebellion totally failed, he believed it was vital in terms of the psychology of the Welsh. Not always for good reasons, but mainly because it gave the Welsh people the information that we don't always just lie down and take it. Sometimes some people stand up and defend the country, which even if you fail is really important. I think Tolkien used to write about this in a totally different tone, but Tolkien used to write about this and he'd call it the long defeat, that you keep on fighting even though you know that you've got no chance. But what Gwyn said about Glyndŵr was that he believed it was so important because he believed that all Welsh people, even if only in some distant corner of their minds, have been out with Owain Glyndŵr and his barefoot scrubs. And the subject of this documentary is a man called Owain Williams. Owain Williams, along with Emyr Llywelyn and John Albert, formed the Myriad Amddiffyn Cymru, which was effectively the movement for the defence of Wales. And what they'd done was they found out about the planning to drown the valley of Tryweryn and a village called Capel Celyn in order to supply water for English cities like Liverpool. And they decided that they weren't just going to do nothing about this. They decided that they weren't going to be like killing anybody or anything like that, but they weren't just going to whinge. They were going to plant bombs, they were going to cause disruptions, and they were going to be insurgents who were a thorn in the side, a pain in the arse of the British state. What this documentary is by a woman called Lindsay Walker, who's based up in the north. She's a graduate of a film school in Bangor University, and what she's made is an excellent and vital and informative and quite beautifully shot face to camera talking head documentary. The structure of the film is 38 minutes long. It's kind of weird. Like, I think for what it is, I'd like it to be 5 minutes shorter, but at the same time, simultaneously, for what it is, I'd like it to be a 90-minute feature film. And the best thing about it, it's got good soundtrack, yes, it's got some good reconstruction, and it's got beautiful cinematography. But more than anything else, it's got Owain Williams. And this man, the camera's turned on him and he's talking, and you just want to hear his story. So it goes from 1963, for when he first heard about the plan to drown the Tryweryn Valley, and it goes all the way through to the latter half of that decade when he was on the run in Ireland because the British Secret Service tried to stitch him up by planting things like nitroglycerine on his car. And he had to basically run to Ireland to hide out there to avoid potentially 15 years in jail. And it's an interview. The documentary is an interview with some photography and some reconstruction. And it's the story of Owain Williams' life. If you want more Welsh history to be on film, and this is made for the cinema, and there'll be some details now about where and when you can see it. If you want more Welsh history, more conflict, which is obviously something I talk about a lot on this wee channel. If you want more of that to be told, if you want more of our kids, our youngsters, our students to hear these stories and to take what they can from these stories, then do me a favor, go and support this movie. Well, the first thing you can do is you can like and share this video. You can make a comment on it. Remember, this YouTube's an algorithm. So the more you comment and like and share this video itself here on YouTube or Facebook, but particularly YouTube, the more people will see this video and therefore they'll see the documentary itself. I vlogged on the video about 2 months ago when I first saw the trailer. I'll put a link up to that video up here. It'll cut through the top of my head now. And it's important to go and support it. I've seen it already and I will be seeing it again. I will definitely be paying at least once, more like twice, to see it on the big screen. It's so well shot. I feel it really needs to breathe. And I think that this needs the cinema in order to breathe. I do believe that there's a documentary about it on the S4C show Henno, which should be going out tonight or tomorrow, definitely this week, which is just a short segment about the film itself. The character is an absolutely vital character, and like I say, he is the most important thing in the film. You could stick a camera on this guy and just listen to his story. It's such a Welsh story. It's such a vital part of our history, and what he gets across really well is that, a bit like Owain Williams alludes to, that his actions had no immediate effect, but 60 years later, we are seeing the ripple effect, as I think they put on the film, the ripple effect of him standing up and showing us that we don't always have to just take it. If you want to see the film, here we go. I will show you now where it's at. Okay, so you've got these venues here. Neuadd Ogwen in Bethesda, Selby in Blaenau Festiniog, Pontiac in Bangor, Aberystwyth Arts Centre, Cinema & Co Abertawe, Chapter Cinema in Cardiff, which is where I'll be going to watch it, Gallery in Carnarvon, T Pawb Wrexham, Red House Cinema in Merthyr, and Neuadd Dwyfor in Pwllheli. So those are the places where you can see the film. Like I say, there's a couple of things you can do. Like, share, subscribe to this video. Give us your thoughts, even if it's just to say hi. Remember, YouTube is an algorithm. The more you interact here, the more people eventually are going to pay for and see the documentary. Well done, Lindsay. Let's see some more of this in the future from you, please. I'll be excited to hear about Lindsay's next projects. I'm Nick. This is Wales in the Movies. Go support the Welshman Film. It's all right, man.